Hey, welcome to session 7 of the Buddha Teachings live session. We will just start shortly. Thank you. Okay, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Whoever are joining or are watching the recordings, this is Abhinav Gulecha and I welcome you. This is session 7. So every week I've been doing a live session on Buddha teachings, the core teachings of the Buddha. And this is the session 7. And this is the final session that we have come to. All the earlier sessions, it is there available in YouTube. You can check the playlist live session and it is available. Sorry, I couldn't do the session yesterday because I've not been feeling well for the past 2-3 days. So yesterday I couldn't do, but I thought, might as well today I'll do the session. And it is also being live streamed on YouTube. So it will be available on YouTube also. Right. Okay. Thank you so much. If you want to join via Zoom, you can join. The meeting ID and password is given. And do join the Telegram channel for the updates. Buddha Teachings 2 is the Telegram channel you can join. And please help me spread the Buddha teachings to more and more people. You can support us by buying my courses or sessions or donating us, so that the links are there in the description. Right. So we will start. So till now we've covered in the last session, we've covered like the last two paths in the Noble Eightfold Path, which is right understanding, right view, and right intention, right thinking. And we discussed about karma. Now in this session we'll discuss about some of the other aspects of Buddha's teachings, and then we'll discuss about the daily practice and further learning resources. Right. So we come to rebirth. So the karma we have discussed, like how a person does the karma, accordingly he gets the rebirth in the realms. So we'll discuss rebirth and we'll discuss the realms of existence. Right. So basically, what on the night of the enlightenment, Buddha, when Buddha actually just got the enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, he acquired varieties of knowledge, and the first knowledge that he got was the knowledge of his various previous lives. Right. Now, rebirth in the Buddha's teachings is different from reincarnation in Hinduism. In Hinduism, there is this concept of a permanent self which gets reincarnated. In Buddhism, it is different, slightly different. Here in Buddhism, there is no permanent self. We are all composed of 5 aggregates: mind, body, mental formations, volitions, consciousness. Right? We are all just composed of these 5 things. We are getting reborn moment by moment. Right? So there is no such thing as a reincarnation. There is basically a rebirth that continues even after death. We are getting reborn every moment, and after death also we get reborn as per our consciousness that is prevailing at the time of the death. So in Buddha's teachings, we don't have a permanent self. We are just a bundle of the 5 aggregates which are just arising and falling, and like a river stream of a flowing water. Like if you see a river, in a stream of river of flowing water, you cannot put the foot in the same river twice. Right? So you put the foot in the river once, and then when you put the foot again in the river, then it is a new river. It's not the same river. Similarly, we are changing from moment to moment. Or take example of a flame of a candle. The flame is not the same flame that was 1 second ago. The flame is keep on changing. Right? So we are like that flame. So rebirth is a process of continuous process of change. So we are reborn every moment of all the things that are arising and falling within us. And at the time of the death, when the physical body is shed, the consciousness or the 5 aggregates, they take a new body, and that is called a rebirth. So it's mostly the same, but a bit different. Right? Now, there are 31 realms of existence where, one person can get born into, depending upon his karmic actions and structure. Right? We'll discuss in the later slide. Buddhism does not encourage about fantasizing. So in Buddhism, we do not fantasize about too much about past lives and everything. Yes, there are lives. We have all had various lives, and because of the karmic force of whatever we have done in those lives, we have acquired this life, and we will continue to acquire those lives until we are liberated, right? We are out of this cycle of birth and death. So, but our focus in Buddha's teachings is in this moment. We are only focused in this moment, being mindful of this moment, which is Satipatthana Sutra, is just being mindful of the body, the feelings, the mind, and the objects of the mind at at all times, seeing reality as it is arising now. Don't fantasize about the past. Don't be anxious about the future. Just be in this moment. Mental defilements cause rebirth and make us engage in the activities which cause karma. And depending upon the karma, we choose the. So basically, it's our mental defilements that are stored, lodged deep in our unconscious mind, the anger, the hatred, the desire, and everything. These defilements make us engage, make us crave for things, make us aversion, desire. They bring all these mental formations in us. And when these mental formations come, then karma happens, action happens, right? And depending upon the action, depending on the karma, accumulated karma, we choose a type of rebirth, right? To process our karma. By developing very deep concentration in meditation, we can send ourselves back in time to explore past lives. This is possible, but it is not encouraged, right? So this is basically rebirth we discussed. Now we discussed realms of existence. So there are in all 31 realms of existence. Now, however, for the purpose of ease of understanding, we consider it as 6 realms, right? So there are lower 3 realms, which is animals, hungry ghosts, and the hell realms, where there is intense suffering, right? Intense suffering, intense desire, intense greed, right? All these things are there. And then there are upper 3 realms, which are the human realms, demigod realms of demigods, and the gods, right? So these are the upper 3 realms. So animals is basically the animalistic kind of tendency. Hungry ghosts is where they have a lot of craving about things which they don't get, right, in that realm. So they continue and suffer intensely. Hell realms are where person gets intense suffering, right, through various ways, and they suffer. Upper 3 realms are human, which is the human realm which we are in. Then demigods, these are also gods, but they are demigods. They have a lot of greed for power, so they keep fighting with the gods, and the gods always win, and the demigods lose, and they face intense suffering because of they lose in the battle. And then there are the pleasurable realms of gods, right, where all pleasures are there. Heavenly realms. Now, important thing to understand is that in the all 3 realms suffer because of impermanence, because everything is impermanent in all the 3 realms, right? Because nothing is in this whole creation, everything is impermanent. All the good karmas will come to an end, right? And because of when they come to an end, the person goes back to the lower realms, right? So we all are suffering because we keep attaching ourselves to things, and the things are impermanent. And so people in all the 3 realms 6 realms keep suffering. It's not that only the people in the hell realm suffer, people in the godly realms don't suffer. At the end, everyone suffers, right? Now, why human realm is the most precious? Because in this realm is where we can achieve full liberation, right? And this is then, see, in the godly realms, there is too much pleasure, so there's no motivation for awakening. And in the uh, lower realms like hell realms, there is too much suffering. So even a person wants to awaken, he cannot awaken because there's too much suffering. In the human realm is where there is not too much pleasure, neither too much suffering, and the conditions are conducive for us to listen to the dharma, to practice the dharma of the Buddha, and achieve full liberation. And we can only achieve full liberation only in the human realm. So this is how precious. So Buddha compares the human realm to like a blind tortoise who sees a circle on the surface of the ocean, small circle, and he comes up and he comes out of that circle. So as rare as that is, as rare is that human birth that we have got. So we have to always think and make the most of this. And we get this human realm because of our very good deeds in previous lives. And even rare in this human realm is a person who is able to study and practice the dharma, who is able to listen, study of Buddha's dharma, and practice the path that Buddha has given. So we are all very fortunate. And if we miss this opportunity, we do not know when next we will get this opportunity, right? So that was some discussion on the realms of existence. Now we come to dependent origination. Now in Buddha's teachings, it's very, very important. Buddha has said that everything is because of something else, right? The law of cause and effect, right? So Buddha was a mind scientist. So he has taken up this concept and explained it in such fine detail, right? And it's a very, very deep concept. Buddha teaches that everything that exists in this creation is conditioned. It exists because of something else, right? So nothing exists independently. Nothing has a permanent, unchanging, separate self. It's all conditioned. It's all dependent on everything else. So even our thoughts, objects, entire universe, nothing exists independently. Based on the principle of cause and effect, that means a flame in the lamp burns because of the oil and the wick, right? And the seed sprouts because of the soil, air. If the soil, air, water is not there, the seed will not be able to sprout. So there are 12 links to dependent origination, which is covered in the next slide. Now, these links are sequential links. Each factor causes the following factor to arise. Because of this, that arises. And when this ceases, that ceases. So Buddha is actually telling us how our suffering has got created, and how we can cease our suffering, how we can, um, cease and put an end to our suffering. That we have to only do. That Buddha will not do for us. That someone else, some God somewhere will not do for us. No matter how much you pray to them, you have to realize what has caused the suffering to you, what is responsible for the state that you are in today, how you can put an end to it. That we have to do our effort. That's the right effort in Noble Eightfold Path. So Buddha said this understanding on dependent origination is the key. If we understand this understanding, and this is related to the Four Noble Truths, we will come to this. And this is the key of attaining liberation. Right? Now, what are the links in the dependent origination? There are 12 links. The first cause is ignorance. Remember the Noble Eightfold Path. Remember the Noble Truths. Number 2, cause. That cause is life is suffering because of craving. The craving is because of ignorance. So ignorance is the first thing. Ignorance that we fail to understand the reality of this existence, that everything is changing. Nothing has a self of its own. We don't have a self of its own. Right? We'll come to the 3 marks of existence later in this session. So ignorance is the first thing that arises. Because of ignorance, what happens is mental formations. All the desire, anger, hatred, all these things arise. Cravings, everything. This gives rise to consciousness. Consciousness gives rise to name and form, objects. Then they give rise to senses, sight, seeing, hearing, and mind. Now, the senses give rise to contact with external objects, which gives rise to feeling. Feeling gives rise to craving. Craving gives rise to clinging. Clinging gives rise to becoming. Becoming gives rise to birth, and birth gives rise to aging and death, right? So the flow of how ignorance transforms into suffering is the entire chain. Now, similar way, how this suffering has created, similar way, if we cease ignorance, then mental formation cease. If we cease mental formation, then consciousness cease, and so on. So if we cease, then the birth ceases and the aging and death ceases. That we come out of this cycle of samsara. So when Buddha got awakened, he realized, and he spoke in the first sutra, Dhammacakra Sutra, is that this is the last life. I know the builder of this house, right? So this is the builder. So he says, now I know the builder of this house. I will never have to come again on this realm, right? So he said, this is my last birth, and now I'm free. I will never come again. So he came across that this is the foundation, the builder of this life. So when I know ignorance, then I know that this foundation itself is gone. So where from this whole building will be there, right? So now we come to the 3 marks of existence. 3 marks of existence is basically, Buddha says 3 things you'll find always in this existence. 3 things: impermanence, non-self, suffering. Impermanence, non-self, suffering. These are the 3 things that you'll find. The entire existence, this creation, the entire samsara is permeated by these three things. So everything is changing. Our body is changing, our possessions. Now look into this and let us reflect into this. We never have put that much thought here that everything is changing. Our body is changing constantly. It is changing. Our skin changes every 28 days. Our thoughts change. Our mental opinions change. Our closely held positions, mental positions change. Our possessions change. The amount of money that we have. Our relationships change. Friends become enemies. Enemies become friends. Our mental patterns, strongly held mental patterns change. Everything is changing. So that's the first marks of existence, impermanence. Our idea of this fixed, unchanging personality of self, we think that everything is unchanging, right? Unconsciously, we think. We have not put a thought on this, that we think that everything is unchanging. So we try to find pleasure in the unchanging reality, right? And then we realize that when the things change, then we get into sorrow and the suffering, right? So our idea of a fixed, unchanging personality is what is giving us suffering, not the existence per se. In the existence, there is suffering as well as happiness, peace. Everything is there. But our ideas, that this has to give me peace, this has to give me pleasure, is what creates suffering. So there is no self. What we think is that we think of ourselves as an unchanging reality. That reality, there is no such unchanging reality. We are composed of body, mind, feelings, mental formations, and consciousness. They all are keeping changing. Like, for example, the feeling that you have 2 days ago, you don't have this feeling today. The patterns, the body that you have like 1 year ago, you don't have the same body. Everything is changing. We are just a bundle of, say, 5 aggregates, which are changing constantly. This idea of a separate, unchanging self creates fear, desire, craving. We think that we are separate from everyone. We forget to understand that we are interconnected with everything, right? And this idea of a separate, unchanging self in us gives us desire, craving, etc., and keeps us in samsara. So Buddha said our ignorance of this impermanent and non-self nature of things results in suffering. And we need to contemplate and meditate on these marks of existence, right? To come out of ignorance and attain liberation. So this is the 3 marks of existence. So now let's come to the daily practice. Like, what should be our daily practice, right? I have not tried to make it very kind of a lofty kind of a daily practice. I've kept it very, very simple so that we all can practice the Buddha's way. So the first thing that we can do is insight meditation, Vipassana meditation. Now, Vipassana meditation, you can follow. There are various ways of following Vipassana meditation. One is the Goenka method, which you can follow. I follow the Mahasi Sayadaw's method. Mahasi Sayadaw was a Burmese monk, and he revolutionized and spread the original Buddha's teachings on Vipassana, and I have made a detailed video on my channel on insight meditation in Mahasi Sayadaw tradition. So, and also in the previous lessons, in the previous sessions, I think last session only we have discussed about the insight meditation practice. So start doing insight meditation. Start by doing like 10-15 minutes morning, 10-15 minutes evening, and then you can slowly increase the time. Just observe whatever is arising. Just keep naming it. Like pain is arising, pain, right? Just rising, falling of the abdomen, sitting, just observe sitting. So this is based on the Satipatthana Sutra, right? This goes on the 4 foundations of mindfulness. So research on insight meditation. Check out that video that I have made on insight meditation. If you have any queries, do put in the comment section. I will definitely be very glad to help you. So morning and evening, do insight meditation. Second, be mindful of all activities in your daily life. In the daily life, whatever we do, we speak, we listen, right? Whatever we do, try to be more and more mindful. I have a course on mindfulness you can check out, where I have given a lot of practical tips and techniques on how to be more mindful in daily life. So that courses.lighthousesource.com, you can check there. And try to practice the Noble Eightfold Path in the daily life, like right speech, right intention, right livelihood. All these things we should try and practice. Practice the 5 precepts. I failed to mention here. Practice the 5 precepts. That is more kind of no lying, no stealing, no cheating, no sexual misconduct, right? And no drinking, right? So 5 precepts we follow. Then study the dharma, right? Study the dharma as much as possible. Like even you can listen to one dharma talk a day, or pick up a discourse. Like I made a video on how to read the Buddha's discourses, right? So pick up one discourse, like go to the suttacentral.net website, take up one random discourse and read the discourse, read what Buddha said, right? So see if you can do that. Then journal how the day went, right? Journaling is very, very powerful thing. That means when we journal, we are able to assimilate our knowledge, and we can keep track of our spiritual progress. So you can journal at the end of the day how the day went, whether I did my meditation today, how I practiced. Is there some way I shouted at someone, or I became angry at someone and I broke the precepts? So note it, right? How my progress of the path is going, right? So note those things. So that journaling will help. So that is just like a suggestive idea that I'm giving on our daily practice on the Buddha's path, right? For further learning, there are certain resources like In the Buddha's Words. It's a book by Bhikkhu Bodhi. It's basically a list of Buddha's discourses, anthology of Buddha's discourses. You can check that book. Then Dhammapad by Eknath Iswaran. You can check that book. Then there is an introductory course on Buddhism by Bhikkhu Bodhi. You can check that. Then BuddhaNet, buddhanet.net is a website where a lot of free resources and free ebooks are available, where you can check about Buddhism. Then link on Key Buddhist Sutras. So if you want to learn more, practice more about the Buddha's teachings, you can try out these links. Then next steps is basically you can join the Telegram channel for updates. This is the t.me/Buddha Teachings 2. This is a Telegram channel. Then you can join the Telegram group for discussion on Buddha teachings. This is the Telegram group you can join. You can join this group. Then the link to download the PPT notes. Now this link, the notes, I will upload in the Telegram channel, so you can download and print the PDF, and you can keep it as your kind of for a reference, right? All the sessions past recording will be available on the YouTube channel. This link I will update after this session video. I will update the playlist name here. One-to-one consultation. If you want to have a one-to-one consultation with me on anything on Buddha teachings, you can buy a one-to-one consultation. It comes at a nominal fee. Any feedback or query, you can WhatsApp on the number 91, which is the country code, 7700953810. This number, you can send any feedback or query, you can send. Right? And stay connected. This is my link bio. So there, all the links of Buddha teachings is there available. Now, please support my work, because I want to take this work of helping spreading the Buddha teachings to as many people as possible. So I'm doing my bit in making videos and doing the live sessions and everything. So you can support me by buying courses, one-to-one sessions. There is an online crystal shop we have where you can order the crystals. Then you can buy Plus membership, where you can get a flat discount on whatever we have, we offer as services, and you get a flat discount on that, and there's a premium content library where there's a lot of premium content that is available. You can check out this. You can donate to me via InstaMojo. That will be very much appreciated. Any amount is welcome, or through PayPal. So it will be very, very appreciated, right? So this is it. Thank you so much for being there and all for helping me in the 7 sessions. Sorry, my health is not good, so I'm not very uh, enthusiastic in this video, because my health is not well. So, but thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share Buddha's Dharma, and it's my pleasure and my fortune and my good privilege to have helped even one person come on the Buddha's path and follow the teachings. Any questions, do write in the comment section. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. May all be happy. May all be well. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya.